played with the Irish since I started with the Irish in 1979. Played with them on and off throughout the years. Was field chairman, selector, president, you name it, through the years. Now like an old boy administrator, and still helping the club get along. Team started in the neighborhood, and like I said, when I started, I was from 63rd Street, so I was actually an outsider. And I back in the day, I think the neighborhoods were like a lot tighter, so it was definitely a Beverly Mount Greenwood neighborhood or team. Most of the players that play on the South Side, like, grew up on the South Side, and now, they probably played high school on the South Side, and then went to college, and they're back playing with the South Side. I was attracted to it because it had that Irish connection with my parents born in Ireland, and then Gene Moriarty is also like a cousin's cousin. So
I started playing with the club in 1975, and I was president for 10 years over a couple different periods of time. Over the years, as I got older and injured and I got married and I started a business, I stayed involved in the club as president, and to this day I still do emails to the old boys. When the club started, they called themselves Southside Irish, and the neighborhood used to call themselves Southside Irish, but then we called ourselves Southside Irish Rugby Football Club. Southside Irish had started in the summer of 1975. Gene Moriarty, Kevin Kennelly, Willie Cafu, with help from others. Joe Kennelly had started the club at St. Ambrose College, and so those guys started it just to play in the summer. And toward the end of the summer, they said, we have people that want to keep playing, so they made the club formal. And when I got out of college, that's when I joined them in the fall of 1975. We did travel. In 1979, we actually did a tour to Ireland, and we made a successful tour in Ireland where we brought two sides there.
I am president of the Southside Irish starting in the 2017 season. I've been playing for the Southside Irish since I was about 20 years old. Part of our long-term goals is we've been really focusing on high school rugby. This is the future of our sport, and we've been working with Mount Carmel, with Marist, obviously Brother Rice, to really talk to the kids who are going to be the future of our club. And our entire goal for the next 10 years is to build a home pitch with proper training grounds, have a locker room, have a social setting afterwards, and really be a self-functioning organization.
I started coaching Southside Irish in the fall of 2017. I was already familiar with the club. I knew Pat Sullivan from over the years through connections, and also Jim Drusius.
Good start, guys. Good depth, good hands, good pressure.
Our mid to long-term goals would be to win a national championship. However, I think that the long-term vision we have for the club is, eventually get back up to Division 1. The club has had some success at Division 1, but we want to get to a point where we're consistently in Division 1 competing there.
Academy started in 2012, the fall of 2012. Came out of necessity for kids that weren't playing football that wanted to continue to play rugby, so we started a club in the fall. So we started amongst all the different high schools in the area, St. Rita, Mount Carmel, Fenwick, Ignatius, Marist had people at the time, St. Lawrence, and all the different kids from the different individual schools. We made a team, and the Southside Irish decided to call it the Academy. And again, that was to get kids that weren't playing fall sports to continue to play rugby, to continue to improve their rugby skills, grow the sport, and give these kids an opportunity to play year long.
There's a big encatchment of rugby schools on the south side. A lot of kids play rugby, and there's a lot of talented players. I think the long-term vision is to tap into that potential that there is on the south side in terms of the players, giving them an environment to compete at the top level. So I think it's definitely a long-term vision to get back up to Division 1, to provide an outlet for these kids to stay on the south side, stay with the club and compete at that level rather than having to seek out another Division 1 club.
Started playing for the Southside Irish back in the late 90s during college. Played anywhere in a forward pack, mostly second row. But as I get a little bit older and slower, I'm now playing a prop. What I love so much about the Southside Irish is the camaraderie. A lot of these guys, we grew up in the same neighborhood, and when they wear the crest on their chest and go out in the field and battle, it means something to them. Southside Irish is just not a random name. It's just something. It's a brand on the South Side. You walk in a bar with that jacket on or that shirt on, it brings an automatic kind of like, I don't want to say respect, but kind of a prestige, honor. When I'm not in the gym getting swole, when I'm not at practice busting heads, I'm doing research on my laptops. That's how we do. That's how I pay my dues.
I was in the military, and I've traveled all over. So I first started playing when I was out in New Mexico for a team called the Nomads, coached by an English guy. From then, played it one time, been playing football prior, and was hooked ever since. Just the camaraderie and everything follows rugby. Basically, playing with Southside Irish, you get a sense of the camaraderie and the heritage that's gone with the club. Being back from 1975, I believe, was when the club was founded. And from then on, like the historic greatness that they've done. Just 3 years ago, being in the Midwest final. I think with any long-term goal, you got to set yourselves for a national championship. Like I said, 3 years ago, we were in the Midwest final, so that's not unrealistic. And with the young group of guys that we have coming up now and the new coach, anything's possible, and that's definitely one thing that we're striving to do.
I've been playing rugby for about 9 or 10 years now. What makes the Southside Irish special is the fact that the camaraderie, and that's what it is with rugby in general. But specifically with the Southside Irish, we have a core group of guys that stick together, and it really expands everything that you're doing. You get a chance to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily be friends with outside of rugby, and it exposes you to a lot of different cultures, a lot of different personalities.
Been playing rugby since I was 6 years old. Came over to America in 2012, just in one of my off seasons. Came here for about 3 months with one of my good friends from South Africa, and we just really loved the vibe of the Southside Irish. We went back to South Africa and just kept thinking to ourselves, how bad do we want to come back and play for the Irish? So I came back in 2015 and been at the Irish since then. Really enjoying my time over here. Coming over here as a foreigner has been awesome. Everyone's really friendly and accepting. We really got accepted in the club, and in general, everyone around Chicago has just been really good to us. Everywhere we go, everyone's really interested in us and interested in rugby. So it's always good meeting people and speaking to them about what we're doing over here.
Got into rugby when I was 16 years old at Brother Rice. I was playing baseball for probably most of my whole life, and then I decided to quit and join rugby because it sounded like a lot of fun. My friends all played it, so I actually got to run with the ball and like football. I was a lineman. I actually got to run with the ball, and that seemed like fun, and then it became probably my favorite sport I've ever played. We won the Division II national championship 2013 for Brother Rice, and then also the state championship after that. We battle hard on the field, and then after the game, we work hard and we play hard.
If you play rugby at school and you want to come out and have a run again, or if you haven't tried rugby before and want to see what it's all about, come on down to training. We train Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:30 to 8:30 at Kennedy Park.
Come on, Brad. Irish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Irish.
The season's upon us, it's that time of year. Brandy and eggnog, there's plenty of cheer. There's lights on the trees and there's wreaths to be hung. There's mischief and mayhem and songs to be sung. There's bells and there's holly, the kids are gung-ho. True love finds a kiss beneath fresh mistletoe. Some families are messed up while others are fine. If you think yours is crazy, well, you should see mine.